people it's your first time taking this class? Okay, so this class always starts with a warm-up. I don't teach you the asanas during the warm-up, you just experience the warm-up. Okay, and we're going to use some props for this warm-up. So everybody, bring 2 blocks to the front of your mat. Set them up, matching up with the corners of your mat. Okay? Because they're not going to do you any good behind you. Okay? Then you're going to take your 3rd block. Sylvia, you're going to come right over here. I've got all your props set up over here. And you're going to take your 3rd block. You're going to come onto your hands and knees. You're going to bring that block up into your pelvis as high as possible. Okay? Not in your knees. You don't want this on your knees, and you don't want it in the middle of your thighs. It hurts when you have it against your knees. Then you're going to put your hands on your blocks, and you're going to tuck your toes under and walk your knees back as if you're kind of bowing down, so your ears are in line with your arms, but you're not going to rest. You're going to push into your hands and then lift your knees up, extending your legs, coming into a downward facing dog. Now, if you are kind of not in a V shape, you're going to actually bend your knees a little bit. That's okay if you bend your knees. And you're going to breathe. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Look back at your belly button. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale. Exhale 6. Inhale. Exhale 7. Inhale. Exhale 8. Inhale. Exhale 9. Inhale. Exhale 10. On your inhale, come forward to a plank. As you come forward to a plank, look at the room in front of you, not at the floor, and push the floor away from you and squeeze the block. Exhale 1. Try to lengthen your tailbone to the block. Exhale 2. So you're not lifting your butt up in the air. Exhale 3. Inhale. Notice you're lifting your butt up in the air. There. Exhale 4. Now look forward, not at the floor, forward. Exhale 5. Forward, everybody, not down. Inhale. Exhale 6. Inhale. Exhale 7. Support with your core. Inhale. Exhale 8. Inhale. Exhale 9. Inhale. Exhale, lift your hips up, go back, downward facing dog. Soften your knees, keep your hands on the blocks. Walk your feet toward the blocks. Keep your feet hips width distance apart. Keep the block in between your thighs. You can stroll your feet forward till your feet are flat on the ground. Now, Emmy, you're going to walk your feet back because this is fundamentals. There you go, baby. Now, if your hands, so you're going to stroll your feet forward till your feet are flat on the ground. Walk all the way up to here. Yeah. Now, if your hands are coming off your blocks, you're going to do 2 things. You're going to raise your blocks up to a different height so you can put your hands on the blocks. And if you still can't put your hands on the blocks, you're going to bend your knees a little bit. And you're going to press your palms down, and you're going to look back at your shin. So your palm is fully going to press down, and you're going to let the back of your head be heavy. And breathe. So try to get your full palm down, even if you have to bend your knees a little bit. Exhale 1. It's okay if you soften your knees a little bit. Exhale 2. Inhale. Try to let go of the back of your head. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale. Exhale 6. Inhale. Exhale 7. Inhale. Exhale 8. Inhale. Exhale 9. Inhale. Exhale 10. Now bend your knees a little bit. If they're not bent, take your block, move your block, and put your block on the floor behind you, on the highest setting. Step your heels out onto the edge of your mat so your toes are on the floor, and come down to a squat. Your feet are going to be at an angle. So there's an opening of the inner hips. Then bring your hands together in prayer and bring your elbows right in between your knee joints. And then press out with your forearms, but then squeeze in a little bit with your knees like you're trying to crack a walnut. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Good. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. So open your eyes and notice that your elbows are way up here. I asked you to bring them down here and push out and squeeze in. Exhale, 4. So there's something happening in your hip. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, 10. Now, just take your hand, lift your hips up a little bit, move that block out of the way. Then put your hands on the floor and come sit down. And straighten your legs straight out in front of you. Okay? Then bend your right knee into your chest. Step your right foot on the outside of your left calf. It's a warm-up. You don't have to go any further. So you can bring that foot down so you don't feel so crunched up. You're going to make space. On your inhale, lift your left arm up and pull your left toe back toward you. Left toe back toward you. Then bring your left elbow on the outside of your right thigh and bring your right hand behind you. You're going to twist the opposite way. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. We're twisting that way. Inhale. There you go. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Pull your left toes back. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, come back to center. Notice what's happening in that leg. And exhale, extend your right leg. Inhale, bend your left knee. Place your left foot on the outside of your right. Here again, you don't have to take it up to your thigh. It's just a warm-up. Pull your right toes back. So pulling your toe back means there's something happening in your hamstring. Then lift your opposite arm up. So you got to switch legs. You got to switch legs and twist over to the left. As you twist to the left, figure out what's going on into the right foot. What you're not looking at. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Good. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, extend your left leg. Inhale, bend both your knees and take your third block, put it between your thighs again. Okay? Then bring your other 2 blocks and put them behind you like that. Okay? Now, wrap your fingers around the edge of the block. You're going to bend your knees and put your feet flat on the ground. So you got to bring your knees back a little, sweetie. Bring your knees back a little bit and really break the block, put it between your thighs. Hold on to the block. Higher. You got to lift it up higher. Yeah. On your inhale, lift your hips into tabletop. Squeeze your block and lift your pelvis. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Let your head go back if comfortable. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. There. Now squeeze. Now lift. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, gently come down. And that's the hardest thing I'm going to make you do today. You know I'm lying to you, right? I'm not telling you the truth when I say that. So that's your warm-up. If you're new here, let's come and sit on 2 blankets or a blanket and a block. I don't know if you have 2 blankets or 1 blanket. You don't have to have 2 blankets. But if you have a couple of blankets, it's nice to raise your hips higher than your knees. So you can come sit on a block and a blanket. But we're going to be sitting down for a few moments, okay? So you want to make yourself comfortable, and by lifting your hips higher than your knees, unless you're from a culture that's used to sitting on the floor all the time, it's really difficult and challenging to sit on the floor, right? Good morning, everybody. How are you? We're going to introduce ourselves to each other. We'll start here. Samantha, Crystal, Dominga, Caroline, Alex, Amy, Ida, Emina, John, Simon, Cynthia, Rishi. And I'm Austin, and this is week 4 of Urban Sadhu Fundamentals. Now, week 4 is called Turning It Upside and Putting It Together. So if you've come into this is your first class, you're going to think, oh my God, he does nothing but talk. It is very talky today, because what happens today is I start teaching you some stuff about why Urban Sadhu Yoga is different from other yoga studios maybe you go to. Here at Urban Sadhu Yoga, we consider yoga a spiritual practice. So I start to teach you some of the esoteric teachings of yoga, not the exo, right? Exo means external. Asana is very external. I start teaching you some inward stuff, some more subtle stuff. So we're not going to be just looking at like one asana after another today. We're going to talk about kind of subtle energies in the body, such as the energy of sound itself, right? One of the things that you may notice is that here at Urban Sadhu, if you've come to open classes, if you've come to fundamentals, my teachers don't demo a lot. They don't do asanas with you, right? What you will see is you will see them teaching you through verbal cues, which is very different. It's actually much harder to teach that way. One, it's harder for the teacher because they have to be clear. But 2, it's harder for the student because you have to listen. And listening is part of sound. Sound doesn't happen if nobody's listening. Have you ever thought of it that way? It's like that idea is, does a tree fall in the forest if nobody's there to see the tree fall in the forest? Well, I don't know. So if nobody's listening to what you're saying, there's really no sound happening. But in yoga, there's this thing called nada yoga, the yoga of sound. Everybody say nada. Nada is a subtle sound that's not gross. Like my voice is gross. It's being caused by 2 vocal cords striking together and me talking. Nada is an internal sound that only I can hear, and it's within me. It's a vibration that's within me. Now, originally, there were these teachers called the rishis. They were the first yogis, and yoga started by them saying that when they just sat and they were quiet, all of a sudden they could hear the nada within themselves. And that's where the yoga tradition began. The idea that I'm going to sit with myself and I'm going to start to feel the vibrational qualities within myself. Now that's pretty deep stuff, right? And most yoga studios you go to will never ever teach you that. So if you take your Urban Sadhu Yoga chant book and you open your chant book up to page 11, to Vedas and Upanishads, meaning this is the earliest teachings. And if you look at number 1 of the mantras listed, Om is number 1. O-M or A-U-M, both are correct. Okay? Now, most of us know Om from this symbol here, right? Do you guys recognize this symbol? How many of you have never seen this symbol? You've never seen this. So this is the symbol of Om, okay? And the symbol of Om is not the Sanskrit word for Om. Like, it's not writing. This is a symbol. This is like an international don't smoke sign. Like, everybody should be able to understand it, right? It's not alphabets here. But it has certain meaning, right? So if we look at this symbol of Om, it has 3 big shapes and a dot. These 3 big shapes are actually your state of consciousness. This big 3 shape is the ah of A-U-M. The mouth is wide open. The vocal is coming deep down from inside the throat. And this is considered my waking state, the Jagrat state of consciousness, where you are right now. It is the place where you spend most of your life, awake, in the waking state, the walking state, right? That consciousness there is what most of us think is reality. Most of us think this is reality that we're experiencing right now. But how do you know it is, if that's reality? Right? Because then there's this curve out here to the side, right? Which is called the swapna. And swapna is your dream state, where you spend the second amount of your time. And that's a conscious state too. In fact, what's happening in your dreams is you're working out psychologically what happened in your waking state that day. Now, when you dream, how many people have ever dreamed a dream and you've woken up in a panic because it felt so real? Have you ever had that happen? You've ever had that happen? You ever had that happen? Have you had that happen? You've never woken up from a dream thinking it was real as a child? Maybe, maybe. So that happens to us. So the ancient people looked at those two situations and they said, we don't know if the waking state is real or the dream is real. We don't know. Both feel real when you're in them. So which consciousness is the correct consciousness or the higher consciousness? So they finally just said, we don't know. But then there's this curve up here, and that's called the Sushupti. The Sushupti is deep sleep. And deep sleep is something that you have to have or you go mad. In other words, you just can't dream sleep and have the eyes moving all night. Finally, you don't get what you need. And people who analyze sleep deprivation don't understand, scientists don't understand where consciousness goes in deep sleep. They're not sure what happens in the brain. We know that you need it. We know that if you don't have it, you go mad. So ancient yogis observed this too. And they said, well, what must happen is consciousness must go back to the source of consciousness. It must go back to where it came from. Some people would say that's God. So these three curves, ah, ooh, But then there's this dot, which is called the tayur. And that's the silence in between ah, ooh, and im. And that's when consciousness goes back to its source. It's the point, right? It's almost like the center of a bullseye. That's where I want to aim for, is that pure silence that's happening. Silence is a sound. Now, if you set up nice and tall and you put your hand at your chest, and I want you to take a deep breath in, and I want you to open up your mouth and pretend you're auditioning for a show and go, ah. Good. Do you feel that vibration there? Now take your hand and wrap it around your throat and go, ooh. Good. Now put your hand on top of your head and go, Do you feel it up there? Okay, now keep your head on top of your head. Now go, ah. Do you feel the vibration in the top of your head in ah? No. Now take your hand and put it at your thoracic again and go, Do you feel the vibration there? A little, but not as much as ah. Do ah again. Ah. You really feel it, right? So what do you notice about when you go ah, ooh, What are you noticing about that vibration? It's traveling upward. This is a key to yoga. You're always moving upward. You're never moving downward. You're spiritually moving upward. You're physically moving upward. Everything is moving upward. Everything is moving up to higher consciousness, right? So things are never down. Things are never looking down. Things are never energetically down in yoga. Things are looking up in the world. Positive thinking is what it is. Okay, so energy is moving upward to higher consciousness, which is considered to be in the top of the head. Okay, that's a secret of yoga. So when we chant this this om, we're actually doing a couple of things that we do in yoga. Yoga means, tell me what yoga means. What does the word yoga mean? Maybe just give it a wild guess, anybody. Union. So when we chant together, we come together and we union. We become one. Now, that's important. Because what scientifically we know, when groups of choruses get together, scientists have studied brain patterns and heart rate patterns on people who are in choruses and singing groups, right? What they notice is that when people sing together, their heart beat gets on the same pattern. Their brain waves get on the same pattern. So which is fascinating. So sound can bring us together, right? It can create a unity amongst us when we chant together. Okay? The other thing it does is it begins to set a tone for the class, an upward energy, and it also bookends the class. It gives the class a beginning and an end, right? So, what I want you to do is I want you to set up nice and tall. And I want you to hear the sound of the harmonium. And I want you to tap into that pitch. And I want you to breathe in deeply and exhale everything out fully. Now do that again. Inhale, breathe in deeply. Exhale out fully. And then on the next inhale, as you exhale, we're going to chant Om together. Twice more. Now just keep your eyes closed and allow that vibrational quality of Om just to set within you. Experience it internally. The Urban Sadhu Yoga chant book says, Om is the mystical uttering. It is the most venerated of all mantras. It is the primordial sound of the everlasting divine in its pure manifestation. God has existed for all eternity, and Om is the eternal sound. Om is the essence of consciousness in its entirety. And then gently open the eyes. So how did that make you feel, chanting that? Relax. How did it make you feel? Energy. How did it make you feel? Vibrating inside of you. How did it make you feel? Inside and outside. Okay. So Om is, my teacher, Sri Brahmananda Saraswati, once said that Om is a cosmic eraser. That whenever you're feeling any kind of negative energy or negative influence, all you should do is just chant Om. And he says it will erase any kind of fear, anxiety, or negative energy right out of your mind. So it brings peace. It brings a certain amount of calmness. And here again, it brings us together. So remember that as your intention in yoga. My intention is to have unity, is to have peace, is to raise consciousness. That is the ultimate goal of the yoga practice, right? Not a handstand, even though a handstand is a nice byproduct of a yoga practice. It's not the ultimate goal. Take your chant books. Let's pass them down this way. Domingo will pick them up for me and help me out for a moment. So let's all pass them down to Domingo. You can pass yours to me. And everybody, let's come and stand up at the front of your mat. I know, you're like, oh my God, we're finally standing up. Okay. Now, we're going to continue to discuss this idea of moving energy upward, okay? And moving consciousness upward. Now, if you've been coming to the class for the past 4 weeks, and this is your last week, what I've been saying to you through the whole class is you don't have to be on my inhale and my exhale. I want you just to breathe. I will count the breath, I will call the breath, but I'm not going, you don't have to breathe with me. I just am reminding you to breathe. Today, I teach Ujjayi Pranayama. Everybody say Ujjayi. Ujjayi. Uj means upward. Jayi means victorious. And pranayama is, prana is life force and yama is a restriction. So I'm restricting the life force, but at the same time, I'm trying to move it upward and have victory over something. What am I having victory over? What do you think? Pain and stress. The mind, because the pain and stress comes from the mind, right? Pain and stress is mental, right? Because pain and stress is subjective. One person's pain and stress may be different from my pain and stress. So pain and stress is not absolute truth. It's subjective truth, right? So that's why even doctors, when you go to a hospital, they say, what kind of pain you're in, and they show you 10 little happy faces going to a frowning face, and you have to circle which one because they can't measure pain and stress, literally. So it's subjective. So if you're practicing yoga, you overcome the pain and the stress of the mind. Right? So that's what I'm overcoming in Ujjayi. So Ujjayi is a samavritti pranayama. Everybody say samavritti. So samavritti means same and equal inhale and exhale. It is a nostril breath, not a mouth breath. That is the difference between yoga and fitness classes. You are not breathing through the mouth, you're breathing through the nose. Nostril breath is different from mouth breathing. So let's try this. Everybody, take your hand to your chin. It's going to be hard to do this with a mask because you're not going to be able to feel it. Okay, you can keep your mask on, but I'm just saying you're not going to be able, it's totally sensory. Inhale through your nose. Open up your mouth and go like you're trying to fog a mirror. So do that again. So look how my hand is over there. Look how my hand is. And inhale deeply. And then try to fog the mirror. What do you feel about the consistency of your breath? It's warm, it's moist. What else? That's two qualities. What else? It's heavy. What else?
The last strings later. That is stronger at the beginning, but
It's expansive. It's all at one time. Yes. So it's hot, it's heavy, it's moist, and it's expansive. Now do the same thing through your nose. And notice how I'm not putting my hand over my nostrils. I'm giving myself some room to actually feel the breath. Inhale through your nose. Now exhale through your nose. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your nose. What do you notice about the quality of the breath on your hand through the nose? It's cold.
It's like direct.
It's direct.
yeah, force direct.
And what did you say?
Light.
It's light. It's consistent and light. One more thing.
Dry.
It's dry. Okay, so mouth breathing tends to cool the body. It acts like an air conditioner. It releases moisture. And it's short. You can't control the breath because the mouth is a bigger hole and it just all comes out at one time. Nostril breathing heats the body, keeps moisture in the body, and you can breathe for longer periods of time, inhale and exhale, because the nose holes are smaller. Okay? So samavriti means same and equal. Inhale and exhale. Right? So that means I could really elongate the inhale through the nose and elongate the exhale through the nose. Right? But there's this other thing about Ujjayi pranayama. It's an audible breath, meaning that I can hear it. Sometimes it's called ocean breath. Sometimes it's called reptilian breath because it kind of sounds like a snake hissing. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your hand around your throat again. Okay? Now, I want you to inhale through your nose. Open up your mouth, stick out your tongue like a snake and go. Do you feel that restriction at the back of your throat? Inhale through your nose again. Open up your mouth, stick out your tongue, go. So there's a tightening of these cords right here. You feel that? Okay, now inhale through your nose. Now make that hissing sound through your nose. Now inhale through your nose and make that hissing sound. Now exhale through your nose, make that hissing sound. Now let's put a metronome to that. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. 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 Good. All right. How did that feel doing that? You feel more open. What was happening in your mind when you were doing that? You kind of shrugged your shoulders, which I actually liked that answer because it means that you were not thinking about something other than the breath. It was not a verbal answer, but I understood what you were saying. It was just kind of like, I didn't think about how it was feel because I was worried about breathing. So like it was so hard to breathe that all I could think about was doing that, Austin. That's what Ujjayi does. This is a technical breath, meaning it's a technique, right? It's like learning to play a musical instrument. You want a tissue? You have to work on it. And it isn't whistling through the nose. It is this restriction at the back of the throat, and it's coming from down here. But back in the good old days, when you would go to a yoga class, they didn't play music. You would have sat there listening to each other breathe the whole time, right? So that's what you would have heard. So if your neighbor cannot hear you breathing, you're not practicing Ujjayi Pranayama. Your neighbors are supposed to hear your breath, right? You're supposed to hear your breath. And if you're focused on that breath, then the only thing you're thinking about is breathing, and you're not thinking about the pain and the suffering of the body and the mind. For a moment, for just a little while, right? So you have higher intention, Om, unity, yoga. You have Ujjayi Pranayama. Now I'm going to teach you what's called Mula Bandha. Everybody say Mula Bandha. Now Mula means root and Bandha means lock. Now root lock is a lifting up of the pelvic floor. For ladies, it's a lifting up and squeezing of the vaginal walls. For gentlemen, it's lifting up at the perineum. It's not a squeezing of the anus. Sometimes people will say it's a squeezing of the anus. It is not the squeezing of the anus. If you squeeze your anus, all you will get is hemorrhoids, I promise you. Don't just stand around squeezing your anus. It's a Kegel exercise. If anybody's had a child in the room, then their doctor told you after having a child that the pelvic floor has opened up and you now need to lift up at the vaginal walls and engage this Kegel exercise to tighten the muscles. For gentlemen, it's a Kegel exercise. When you get to be my age, you slightly become incontinent and your doctor says you need to start lifting up at your pelvic floor. So it's almost as if you're trying to stop the flow of urine is what it is. It's that kind of energetic more than squeezing anus. But it's a moving energy up. From the navel down, gravity takes over, and there's this powerful force of energy from the navel down. Ancient yogis knew this. Every morning you get up and you do the bathroom. You let stuff out. You let out your dinner last night, right? Menstrual cycle happens. You let stuff out. Hips are heavy. Legs are heavy, right? So gravity takes over from the navel down. What Mula Bandha does is it starts to lift that energy, that downward energy up, and starts to move it up your body, and the body becomes light. And the body becomes more mobile and fluid, right? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a block, place that block again all the way up into your crotch, as high as you can get it. Okay? Now, the thing about Mula Bandha is Mula Bandha cannot be engaged on an inhale. It can only be engaged at the end of an exhale. It's impossible to engage it during an inhale. Okay? So, inhale, take a deep breath in, then exhale everything out. Then try to pull the block up into your belly. So lift up by pulling up at your pelvic floor, and notice, I can tell right now if you have Mula Bandha engaged or not. Because if you didn't grow a little taller, if your tummy didn't grow a little firmer, if your sides didn't engage a little bit, there's no Mula Bandha. Now, lift up if you didn't engage it. Do that again, but now breathe. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Keep the Mula Bandha engaged. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Relax. Okay, what was that like? Huh? It was difficult. Because why? Tell me why. You couldn't control your muscles. Let's try this a different way, okay? Because sometimes it's a little abstract, just trying to pull the block up into your abdomen, right? That's a little bit of work. Okay, here's what I want you to do. This will be more familiar to you. Take the block out, okay? Set it down, and then come onto the nice bamboo floor. Now, for those of you who have socks on, I would take my socks off. I would not have socks on to do this. So come onto the bamboo floor. You don't want to be half on your mat, half on your, just come onto the bamboo floor. Okay, now, what I want you to do, standing on the bamboo floor, is I want you to jump up into the air, and I want you to land onto the floor and make the loudest sound you can, waking the guys up downstairs, okay? 1, 2, 3, inhale, lift up, and good. Let's do it again and make it louder. Inhale, lift up. Good. Okay, one more time. Lift up, wake them up. Good. All right. When you landed, what did you feel? Downward force. You just did it. Downward force. Downward force. That's how I make that loud sound. Okay, now I want you to jump up even higher, but when you land, I don't want you to make a sound. I want you to be like a little mouse landing, or a little cat. You know how cats jump off of high places and they go, like that? You know? I want you to be like the little cat, okay? So, inhale, bend your knees and jump up, no sound. Do that again. Jump up high, no sound. One more time, jump up high, no sound. What did you feel when you did that? When your feet touched the floor, what did you feel? Not just control, but what did you feel? Do it again. What did you feel when you even got off balance because of it? You had to lift. You had to lift at the pelvis to control that downward energy. That's Mula Bandha. Have you ever been walking in New York City and you are like, know that if you just slam your feet all over Macy's, that your knees are going to hurt by the end? So you start walking a little lighter and start walking a little more upright through Macy's? Right, okay. That's Mula Bandha. You don't even know you're engaging it. Okay? But Mula Bandha in yoga is getting you to engage it consciously. I'm consciously engaging this technical thing and putting it with the breath and everything else so that I can bring lightness to the body. In yoga, Mula Bandha is core, right? If I go to a gym, my trainer is going to talk about the core of my body this way. In yoga, when I say core, I'm saying in between your feet, up through your pelvis, up through your spine, up through the crown of your head, all the way to infinity. That is the core. So it is a constant moving up of energy all the way to infinity. It never ends. Does that make sense? Okay. Any questions about Mula Bandha? So you have intention, higher intention, yoga. You have Ujjayi pranayama. You have Mula Bandha. Now, what we're working toward today and why this has taken so long is this mystical, magical thing called vinyasa. Vinyasa. You hear a lot about vinyasa in yoga. What does vinyasa mean? Anybody want to take a shot at that word? Close. You're good. You're good. Because most people will say something like flow. So, V means sequence. Nyasa means to place with consciousness. So a vinyasa is not a flow, because when a kid knocks a glass of water over, a Kool-Aid over, it flows all over the kitchen counter. Vinyasa is not a flow. Flows are uncontrollable. Vinyasa is a conscious step-by-step placement of one thing after another until there's a sequence of events and it's understandable in a conscious manner. Okay? So we're working toward vinyasa. Now at Urban Sadhu, the Urban Sadhu Yoga Method says there's 5 components or elements of vinyasa. One, there has to be a higher intention. Yoga cannot be practiced just because you have tight hamstrings. Impossible. 2, there has to be Ujjayi pranayama. 3, there has to be Mula Bandha. 4, there is the uninterrupted movement from one thing to another, while implying Mula Bandha and Ujjayi Pranayama. Okay? So everybody, let's come stand back at the wall. And I'm going to come try to stand somewhere where everybody can see me. So I'm going to stand in between the two of you. Okay? So my Ujjayi, can everybody see me? Where should I stand? So maybe I should come over here. Can you guys see me over here? Maybe I'll come over here and everybody can see me. Am I visible to everybody? Okay. So, like I said, Ujjayi Pranayama, first, my metronome can be fast or slow. My inhale can be a 4-4 count like we practice, or it could be an 8-8 count. It could be a 12-12 count. Just as long as my inhale and my exhale are even. Now, in a vinyasa, I am matching the movement to my breath. So it's kind of like dancing. So I'm moving with my breath with grace, and I'm finding the movement of the body, okay, with the breath. That's important. So it wouldn't be like me going inhale, and I got my hands up here for 5 beats, and then down here for 5 beats, right? I'm moving through it like a dancer would. Like if you were in a ballet class and the choreographer said, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want you to hit your hand here at 4, that would be the movement that you would make. So that it's a nice, graceful movement, right? So it's more akin to dance than you can imagine. Vinyasa is like the yogi's dance, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do Ujjayi Pranayama. We're going to match the movement with the breath, but we're going to do a 6-count inhale and a 6-count exhale. So what that would mean is, watch me, don't do it with me, don't do it with me. I would go inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my arms, by the time I'm at 3, my arms are extended out. By the time I'm at 6, but I'm not going, it's not like this. It's a fluid movement, uninterrupted, right? Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, come stand with your back against the wall and your heels against the wall. That way you know you're standing up straight. Now, when I clap, you'll begin. So exhale everything out. Engage Mula Bandha, lift up at the pelvic floor. Connect to your Ujjayi Pranayama. When I clap, you'll begin. Inhale 2, 3. When I clap, you'll begin. And Radha, you've done this more times with me than you can imagine. You should know me by now. Okay, exhale everything out. Engage Mula Bandha. When I clap, you'll begin. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What did that feel like? What did that feel like? You had to think about it. Yes, you have to think about it, which is interesting because what it really means is that you have to, just like playing music or dancing, you have to count with me. You have to become so conscious and aware of your breath that it's like you're a classical dancer or a musician. You can't just be in your own thing and that's like going to the disco, right? This is more, here again, going back to that concept of union, of unity, of coming together as a group. A vinyasa can really only be practiced as a group. I actually now am believing in the theory that you cannot practice vinyasa on your own. There has to be unity with the group to practice a vinyasa. Now, how is 6 counts? Hard? A little hard. Okay, let's try a 4-4 count, which is a little closer to the rhythm of your heart and is a little bit more like dance music. Like music to dance to is like a 4/4 count. You're going to find this a little easier. So that means at 2, my arms are out in front of me. At 4, my arms are beside my ears. Okay? So we're going to do the same thing. When I clap, you'll begin. I give you 2 breaths just to get into the rhythm of the breath before you start. Okay? So exhale everything out. Lift up at your pelvic floor. Engage your Mula Bandha. Get used to that. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. 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 How did that feel? You were in it. Okay. How did that feel? Easier than the 6 count. Okay, everybody come back to the front of your mat. All right. So, 5 elements of vinyasa. What are they? Test time. Pop quiz. What is the first one? First one. Om or higher intention, right? That was our higher intention Om. What's number 2? Ujjayi. What's number 3? Mula Bandha. What's number 4? Huh? Well, what did we just do? What is this? What here I'm doing? Movement, 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 movement. Uninterrupted movement. Okay. Uninterrupted movement. Uninterrupted movement. Okay? So those are you. There's a 5th one. The 5th one is called drishti. Everybody say drishti. Drishti means where I look. So some yoga practices, they close their eyes. This is not one of them. This is, I notice when students close their eyes automatically. Sometimes they maybe have gone to Kundalini yoga or something like that. And you do Kundalini yoga, that brand, with closed eyes. This is different. The gaze, or the drishti, is important for 2 reasons. One, where you look, your head will go. Where your head goes, your spinal column will follow. Okay? So where you look is teaching alignment in this practice. In other words, if I just say look up, your whole spine changes. Instead of me saying, oh, like lift your head and look up, so you lengthen through your upper back and through vertebrae 3 and 4 and blah blah. I mean, that's like crazy teaching. Just say look up in front of you. Okay, so that's one thing. It becomes a physical way of controlling the body. Where my eyes go, my spine will follow. My father was a football coach. He used to say the same thing. He was like, guys, if you look behind you, when you run into that guy in front of you, you're going to go right over onto your back. Okay? So, where I look, everything else will follow. Okay? Then 2, in a spiritual sense, I'm learning to look beyond the beyond. So if I'm standing here practicing my vinyasa in front of Shiva, I may see Shiva, but I'm actually looking beyond the murti. I'm looking through the murti. I'm going beyond that into infinity. The murti is not there anymore. The physical world is not there anymore. I'm looking beyond the physical world, right? So the building is not there. The trees are not there. But my gaze is there, right? If I'm looking out the window, and I'm looking at all those nice people going to the grocery store thinking, I wonder what they're buying. Oh, I wonder if they're buying some nice vegan milk today. Then I'm not thinking about yoga. That's the truth. So you have to think that wherever you're looking, not only will your spinal column follow, but your mind will follow. Okay? So the gaze or the dristi becomes not just physical but spiritual. Okay? I'm going to teach you a Surya Namaskar. In this Surya Namaskar, I will teach you the dristi. We will go through the whole Surya Namaskar with me telling you where the dristi is. And then I'm going to break down the asanas. So don't get upset if you are going, oh my God, I have no idea what he's talking about. I'll break it all down for you after we do it, so you know one time what it is and what we're working toward. Okay? So everybody, bring your blocks up to your mat. And let's start with putting the blocks like this. Okay? And you're going to bring them in just a little bit from the edge. Okay, I'm going to have you have them on the second sitting. Because we have new people here and they didn't take that class with downward dog. This will help them with their upper arms with downward dog. Okay? Now, you're going to come and stand in between your blocks. Now, you're always looking to get back to that spot. Right? Not behind your blocks, not in front of your blocks, but right there in between your blocks. So, I'm going to call this out all the way through. Then I will teach you the dristi in each asana. So listen to where I tell you to look. That will be the most important thing. Then I'll break down each one of these asanas that maybe are new to you. So Tadasana, feet come together, big toes and heels touch. Your dristi is at the horizon, as if you're looking at a sunset on the beach. Your hands are by your side and your palms are facing in. So they're not behind your back and they're not in front of you. Now, bring your hands together in prayer. Feet together, feet together, feet together, feet together, feet together. Touch, 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 touch. Extend your arms and just look up at your thumbs, but don't throw your head back. Just cut your eyes. Cut your eyes up to your hands, but keep your chin parallel to the earth. Then exhale, fold forward, pull your navel into the spine, put your hands on the blocks, and look back at your knees or your thighs. Now, grab your blocks with your thumb on the inside and your index finger on the outside. Bend your knees a little bit more, shift your weight into your left foot, and step your right foot back into a long lunge. And look forward at the wall in front of you. Emmy, lift your back knee up, so don't drop into your hip. Good. Then exhale, step your left foot back, downward facing dog, lift your hips up and look at your belly button. So lift your hips up and look at your belly button. Down dog, down dog, down dog. There you go. Look all the way back at your knees, your ankles, or your belly button. Now on your inhale, move forward to a plank and look at the wall in front of you, not at the floor. The floor ain't going nowhere. Bend your elbows 2 inches, chaturanga, looking at the wall in front of you. Inhale, upward facing dog, look at the ceiling, all the way up at the ceiling. Then exhale, roll over your toes, go back downward facing dog, and look at your belly button or your navel and stay. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Notice how that changes your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Notice how that changes the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale 5. On your inhale, step your right foot forward in between your hands and look at the wall in front of you. Not at your right foot. Not at your right foot, but the wall in front of you. Right over there. Exhale, left foot next to the right and fold. Look at your shins all the way back at the wall behind you. On your inhale, press into your feet, come stand up, extend your arms, and take your gaze up to your thumbs. Then exhale, fold over your legs again, fold forward, put your hands on the blocks, soften your knees, step your left foot back. You know where to look, forward, not down, Radha. Exhale, downward facing dog, look at your navel or your ankles. Take your gaze back. Inhale, come forward to a plank, take your gaze forward, forward. Exhale, bend your elbows, chaturanga, not so low, Emmy. Inhale, upward facing dog, look at the ceiling. Exhale, downward facing dog, look at the navel. Stay, inhale. Exhale 1, and notice if you're changed your hands on those blocks, it helps your shoulders. Exhale 2, there's a slight outward rotation. Exhale, 3. Inhale. That's a little precarious, that high. Exhale, 4. This is a little better. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Good on your inhale. Step your right foot forward in between your blocks and look forward, not down. Keep your left heel up, yeah. And then exhale, step your back foot forward next to your right fold. Look over at your shins. Good. Then press into your feet, rise up, and extend your arms. Look up at your thumbs. And exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana. All right. So this is called Ashtanga Namaskar A. That's what this is. There's always 5 breaths in down dog. Okay? The thing about this is it's a hamstring opener, but there's this thing chaturanga in it, right? And chaturanga is really hard and really misunderstood. Chaturanga is not a military push-up, and it's not it's not about seeing how low you can go, right? Even though maybe you've been doing it low as you can go for years, it's actually Chaturanga Dandasana translates into 4-limb staff seat. So it's a walking stick with 4 little pegs coming off of it. So that's what you should kind of look like. Like if you ever seen those pretzels, those stick pretzels? It's almost if you had a little stick pretzels with 4 little sticks coming off a stick pretzel. That's what it is. So everybody, take a block, put it here. Take a block and put it here. And then take a block and put it here. Okay? Now, I'm gonna have you come over here and watch me. Okay? So what I'm going to do is come over here and watch me. You're not going to do it while I do it. You're going to watch me do it. Okay? So I'm going to put 1 block here underneath my pectoral muscle or my underwire. I was a costume designer, always still talking clothes sometimes. My underwire. And then I'm going to put the other block above my pubic bone underneath my hip crease. Okay? So what I want to do is I may have to move it around a little bit. I want to lay down on it. Now, I'm going to tuck my toes under. And what happens sometimes is people will relax at the pelvic floor, so I want you to crush the block. Now, your hands are important. Your thumbs are going to come in line with your breast, and your elbows are going to come next to your ribs. And I'm going to look forward. I'm not looking here. Notice how if I look down at the floor, I round my back and I round my neck. I look forward. Then I'm going to squeeze the block in between my thighs like I'm trying to crack a walnut, and I'm going to push into my hands, and I'm going to lift up a 1/2 inch. That is a chaturanga. Now, for up dog, I'm going to flip my feet, and I'm going to push into my hands, and I'm going to lift up. My pelvis will touch the back block. Then I'm going to flip my feet, and I'm going to go back into a down dog. Okay? Then I'm going to do it all through a plank. I'm going to come forward to a plank. As I come forward to a plank, I'm going to look forward. I'm going to keep moving forward until I'm on my tippy toes. I'm always moving forward and up. I'm going to bend my elbows. I'm not going to touch the block. I'm going to flip my feet, extend my arms, look up. And then I'm going to go back. Down dog. Now, I cannot do that without Mula Bandha. If I don't have Mula Bandha engaged, I'm going to land right on the floor. Okay? So it's all about what you're doing with this block in between your thighs. Okay? You want to activate Mula Bandha, or this is really hard, because then you're taking all your body weight and you're putting it into your shoulders and your rotator cuffs. Okay? So everybody, come onto your mat. And first come onto your knees, put the 3rd block in between your thighs, as high as you can get in your crotch. And then you're going to come and lay down with your pelvis on the first block and your second block underneath your pectoral muscles. Right? Yeah. Then you're going to tuck your little toes under and lift your knees up. And you're going to squeeze the block like you're squeezing toothpaste. You're going to walk your hands back so your thumbs are in line with your breast and your upper arm bone is in line with your rib cage. And you're going to activate these thighs and activate that without lifting your hips. Hips going to stay down on the block for a moment. Now, squeeze the block. Yeah. Now, exhale, engage Mula Bandha, and then push into your hands and lift your body off the block about a ½ inch. Keeping that flat line. That's a chaturanga. That's a chaturanga. Yeah. Now, flip your feet and extend your arms and look up at the ceiling, up dog. Flip your feet, lift your chest, and look all the way at the ceiling, Radha. You're looking at me. All the way up there. Your pubic bone can touch the back block. That's okay. Now, flip your feet and go back downward dog. Lift your hips. Keep your hands where they are. Don't walk your hands back, please. On your inhale, come forward to a plank and look at the wall in front of you. Come onto your tippy toes, moving forward, and bend your elbows 2 inches, chaturanga. Don't touch the block. Inhale, upward facing dog. Extend your arms, look up at the ceiling. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips. Good. Now, come on out to a plank and drop down to your knees. Okay. So lift your torso up. So that's one way to do chaturanga. Does everybody start to feel the energetic of that? Does everybody understand that it's not just that if I come into chaturanga from down dog and I just go, ain't no Mula Bandha engaged. That's just a belly flop. And I see this all the time. People looking like beached seals. So it's not a beach seal. It's engaged, and there is a rigidity to the body that is contracting every muscle in your body as you do this. Right? In reality, the first Surya Namaskar I taught you, because there were new people, I taught you as a step back. You can step back into a chaturanga as long as you need to. I stepped back for a whole year before I jumped back. But in reality, I'm going to demonstrate Ashtanga Namaskar A for you and explain to you how that in the vinyasa, that when I said from plank, move forward all the way onto your tippy toes, right? I said, come forward onto your little tippy toes. Look forward, look forward, look forward. Is in Ashtanga A as a jump back. So, do you have a question? Would you raise your hand? Did you raise? No, you didn't. You have a question. I don't want you to do that. That was taught wrong. Daddy's home. Daddy's home. Daddy's home. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this third block. Now, with the third block in between my thighs, it does mean my feet are going to come apart. You do not have to jam your feet together, but I want you to have the block so there's Mula Bandha awareness. Exhale everything out. Engage Mula Bandha. On the inhale, bring the hands together in prayer. Extend the arms. Look how I just cut my eyes. I didn't take my head back. I just look up. Then exhale, fold forward. As you fold forward, grab the block, flip back. Now inhale, lift the head and chest, move forward and bend your knees. Start to come onto your heels. As I'm already setting up for the chaturanga. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'm going to stay. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, bend my knees, look forward. Inhale, jump my feet in between my hands. If I didn't get there, I'm going to scoot forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana. So everybody, come stand up. You're going to do that. Whee! All right. Now put your blocks like this. Take your third block. Put your third block in between your thighs. All right, because we're going to try that jump back. I know you can do it. I want you to at least try it. Now come stand in between your blocks. Now, hands by the side, Tadasana. Exhale everything out. Lift that block up. Woo! Yeah, here we go. And let's connect to your Ujjayi Pranayama. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. On the inhale, bring the hands together, prayer, extend the arms, look up at the thumbs. Then exhale, fold forward, scoop your belly in and up, grab your blocks. Bend your knees if you need to. Inhale, lift your head and chest, look forward and shift weight forward, starting to bend your elbows already. Hold onto your blocks and bend your elbows. Bend your knees to get down there. Bend your knees, bend, bend, bend. Lift up on your heels, get ready, look forward, jump back chaturanga with bent knees and bent elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, extend, look up at the ceiling. Exhale, downward facing dog, look at your belly button and lift the block. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale, breathe. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look past your hands. Look forward. Inhale, jump your feet in between your hands. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, rise up and extend your arms. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana, mountain seat. Good for you. Good. That was good. Now, take the block out from between your thighs. Okay? Come stand at the front of your mat. Big toes and heels touch. You're going to do it without the block. But that preparing, bend your knees, get ready to jump. It's almost like getting into a springboard action, right? So it's not just kind of hanging out there. You got to prepare for it, okay? Because that's part of that linking mechanism. One thing's coming into the other. That's the vinyasa, right? Exhale everything out. Engage Mula Bandha, lift the pelvic floor. Connect to your Ujjayi Pranayama. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. On the inhale, bring the hands together, extend the arms, Urdhva asana. You know where to look. Exhale, fold over the straight legs, Uttanasana, grab your blocks. Inhale, lift your head and chest, look forward, prepare. Exhale, jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Good for you. Inhale, upward facing dog, move forward and up. Don't look at the floor, please. Exhale, downward facing dog, look at your belly button. Inhale. Exhale, push the chest back. Inhale. Exhale, lift the quads up. Inhale. Exhale, feet about hips width distance apart, a little wider. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look past your hands. Inhale, jump your feet in between your hands. Exhale, fold over your straight legs. With straight legs, inhale, rise up, extend your arms, see your prayer. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana, mountain seat. Good. How does everybody feel about that? Exciting, right? Like now you know why, if I would have done this to you for a whole hour, you'd have been exhausted, right? So now you know why we talk for 30 minutes. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're now going to do what is called strict vinyasa. Strict vinyasa is when I stop telling you what to do. You have learned the sequence. You understand the sequence. I am going to count the breath. I am going to set the metronome. I will clap, and you will do that Surya Namaskar by yourself without me telling you anything. All I'm going to do is go inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. So that means it wants to look like this. Exhale, Tadasana, engage Mula Bandha. Watch me. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 2. Inhale, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, exhale, 2, 3, 3. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. So see how I now timed it as if I'm dancing. That I am at 4 is my full extension, right? And my timing, even jumping back into chaturanga, becomes calmer. I don't get hysterical about it and go, oh my God, I got to jump back into chaturanga. I try to make it fluid and go back. Okay? So how do we feel about doing that? Good? Let's go. Woo! Let's do it. All right, come into the front of your mat, standing into Tadasana. When I clap, you'll begin. When I clap, you'll begin. So exhale everything out. Engage in Mula Bandha. Let's set a metronome for your breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. 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 Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 2. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 3. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Yay! How did that feel doing that? Not easy or easy? Easy. It was much easier than you thought. How did that feel doing it? You don't even think. How many people felt a little impressed that you could remember it? How many people felt a little liberated by knowing that you knew it? Okay. So what I just did is I empowered you, right? I switched the power dynamic. There's a power dynamic that happens with teachers. Teachers are in control of the room, and all of a sudden they're teaching, and you become codependent on them. They become codependent on you. What I just did is I empowered you. You are no longer codependent on me. You know this. You can do this at home if you wanted to. I hope you come back to the studio and support us. But I want you to have your own practice. I want you to understand this internally. I don't want you just to understand it externally. You shouldn't depend on me for this, right? The satsang is a different discussion. Us coming together as a group is a different discussion. But this idea that you know it intuitively is like riding a bicycle, right? Finally, you get to take the training wheels off the bicycle. I'm the training wheels. That's all I am, is training wheels. You have your own bicycle, okay? It's called consciousness, right? Okay, everybody come back to the wall, and I want you to sit with your back against the wall, your legs out in front of you, and I want you to raise your arms up alongside your ears. I want you to turn your palms to face upward, extend your arms, and bring your ears and arms a little closer together, and then push the ceiling away from you. Act like you're trying to hold the ceiling up, and breathe. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and relax. What shape are you making? Huh? Down dog. This is what your down dog should feel like. We're going to take your down dog and we're going to turn it upside down and we're going to do Adho Mukha Vrikshasana. Adho, downward, Mukha, face, Vrikshasana, tree seat, a handstand. Woo! Handstand. Okay. So what we're going to do is, just watch me. I'm going to flip over and I'm going to put my feet on the wall. My hands are underneath my shoulders. My knees are underneath my hips. I got to commit to this measurement. I can't walk my hands forward or my feet would slide down the wall. And my heels have to be on the wall. They can't be up here. Now, I'm going to lift my knees up and come into a short down dog and look back all the way at my pubic bone. I'm going to take my left foot, I'm going to put it on the wall. I can see my left big toe. It's not going any further than my vision. I'm going to step the right foot next to the left, and I'm going to straighten my legs and look at my belly button. And I'm going to stay here upside down for 5 breaths. In, and I'm going to push the floor away. Okay, just like I was pushing the ceiling away. So everybody, come onto your hands and knees. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, your heels are on the wall. You're like a tabletop. So it's kind of like a table, right? Now, don't walk your hands forward. Make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders. Lift your knees up and come into a short down dog. As you lift your up, I want you to look back at your pubic bone. Your gaze is important here. Now, step your left foot onto the wall. See your left big toe. Then step your right foot next to your left and start to extend your legs. Good. And push the floor away from you, coming into an L shape. Good. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Good for you. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Push. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, gently come down. Good for you. Whoo. How did that feel? First time you ever did it. Yay. Yay. You made all kinds of advancements. See, that's why when Daddy comes home, it's special. All right. So, from here, I've kind of run out of time. We're supposed to do a shoulder stand, but I've kind of run out of time. We're going to come now, and we're going to make our way into Shavasana. Okay? And since we have people new, the shoulder stand, just know that this 4-week cycle, we teach shoulder stand at the wall, and then we teach it in the middle of the room. So it is nice to kind of start in week 1. So everybody come lay down with your head toward the center of the room, your feet toward the wall. And as you lay down, you can roll up a blanket, place a blanket underneath you. You can place a blanket on top of you, preparing for Shavasana. So here's the really cool thing about Shavasana now. At this point, let the breath simply breathe the body. You don't have to breathe in any special way anymore. Relax at the pelvic floor now, letting go of Mula Bandha. You don't have to engage in Mula Bandha any longer. Let your body become heavy. And I'm going to guide you through a relaxation. So starting with your toes, tell yourself toes, relax. Ankles, relax. Shins, relax. Knees, relax. Thighs, relax. Hips relax. Abdomen and lower back relax. Chest and upper back relax. Shoulders relax. Biceps and triceps relax. The forearms relax. The hands and fingers relax. The throat relaxes. The jaw relaxes. The tongue inside the mouth moves away from the roof of the mouth and relaxes. The nostrils relax. The eyes sink deeper into the skull and relax. The forehead relaxes. The crown of the head relaxes. Even the hairs on the head relax. And you start to realize that the whole body has relaxed. Gently start to deepen the breath. And by means of the breath, start to make small movements with the fingers and the toes, animating the body through the breath. Stretch the arms overhead and stretch the arms and legs in opposite directions. Then gently bend the knees into the chest, give the knees a little hug. And then gently roll over to the right side. And to stay in a fetal position for a second. Then press the left palm into the floor, lift the torso up, and come up to a seated position. And you can sit on your blankets. The last part of this class today is introducing you to meditation. Now, meditation is where this idea of tapping into this inner consciousness happens. It can't happen in the exterior world. So there's 4 easy steps to the Urban Sadhu Yoga Method of meditation. 1, pick a seat and commit to it. Be still. Don't fidget. Don't move around. Number 2, close your eyes and allow the breath to deepen. You don't have to employ Ujjayi pranayama again, but there should be breath awareness, full inhales and full exhales in a relaxed way. Number 4, start to draw the senses inward, letting my voice be the last thing to come inward. Removing yourself from the exterior world and start to focus your mind. Now you need something to focus on. As you inhale, silently chant to yourself Om. And as you exhale, silently chant to yourself Om. And allow the mantra of Om to match the inhale and the exhale on your own. Gently bring the hands together in undulating mudra, palms touching. And bow the head slightly toward the hands. Inhale deeply for the sound of Om. Namaste. Thank you all so much for being here, and thank you for all your hard work and effort. If you have any questions, I'm happy to ask questions. If you are, like I said, if you came new, I don't know if there's another weekend of this month. I have another Saturday, I'll teach this class again. But the first what month are we in? March, April. In April, the first week of April, I would start with standing asanas. Okay, so we'll start at the top of the series, standing asanas, forward folds and hip openers, back bends, and then it will go over this. The foundational vinyasa mirrors this. So, like, if you are working on inversions tomorrow in foundational vinyasa, it'll be all handstands and headstands and inversion stuff and working on what vinyasa is. So that's level 2. So this is level 1, that would be level 2, but they mirror and run parallel to each other. Check out the bulletin board. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. There's a workshop on herbs and spirituality. And when I say herbs, kitchen herbs. Not like what they're selling up the street. And then we have a Reiki master Reiki teacher who's coming and doing a Reiki teacher training, level 1 and 2. If you're interested in Reiki, that's energy movement, similar to what we were talking about today. Brent Bevel is fantastic. We're also doing our teacher trainings. And a lot of times people think they're not ready for a teacher training. If your teacher trainings, I did my first teacher training with Jiva Mukti because I didn't take my first yoga class till I was 43 years old. And I wanted to jumpstart my yoga practice. I thought, oh, well, I've been practicing for a year. I should figure this out. And I went to a teacher training to figure it out. And I ended up teaching yoga pretty much every day of my life since. So don't think that you're not ready for a teacher training, because they can also be great to like really go deeper into the teachings as a student, even if you never plan on teaching. So we're doing a 75-hour teacher training, and we're doing a 300-hour teacher training in the fall, winter, which Dominga just finished up with me. So that's what's going on. Check that out on the bulletin board. Be part of the satsang, not just come into class once a week. Be loved, be vegan. Bye. Thank you. Hello. Okay.
Bhagavan, you turn it off first. Bhagavan.
He said he turned it off. He said he turned it off. Oh.